Howdy, y'all.
Hi, guys.
It's Ryan.
And Angela.
From ASKRNA Music. Oh, yeah. Somebody was smart enough to wear a shirt. ASKRNA Music, your favorite mom and pop guitar shop music lesson studio where we keep the music alive. Deep in the heart of Texas. That's where we're at.
That's
literally in Texas. And it's time for another episode of ASKRNA. We're going to answer y'all's questions. Let's go. Welcome back. If you're new here, we have a little music lesson studio and little guitar shop in a very small town in East Texas.
Yes.
Canton, Texas.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. We teach music all day long.
Yep.
And we sell stuff and things,
Mm-hmm.
and we make videos.
Yep.
And we know things
That's what we do.
about things.
All of
All right.
things.
If you're one of our regulars, thank you for coming back. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and all that stuff. Get your commenting fingers ready
Yeah.
to comment. And if you would like to support a little business, you can get some swaggity swag, like Angela's shirt there. We have a link in the description of this video. Will take you to our Teespring store. Now it's called Spring, not even Teespring. You can order a shirt or some socks or a cuppy cup or just whatever. And if you would like some lesson resources, there's a link to our actual website down there where you can go and get a little 8-page PDF of some chord diagrams, scale diagrams, stuff like that. If you like what we do and want to support it, that's a great way to do it. Now it's time for the video where we're going to answer questions. People all over the world
All over the world.
apparently want to know things from people in Texas.
Right.
And so here we are. All right, let's go. First question. The Metal God 100, not 99, 100. I used to like V-shaped guitars, and I had a Jackson Randy Rhoads 1 guitar. It was very difficult to play sitting down, so I don't like V-shaped guitars anymore. Ryan, being a Schecter fan, have you played this Synyster Gates Custom S guitar? If so, what were the pros and cons of the guitar? I'm thinking of buying one. Very good question. Well, I am a Schecter fan and a Schecter dealer.
Yeah.
So we've been selling, I've been a Schecter dealer since 2009. So we are Schecter dealers. Not only are we Schecter dealers, I am also kind of a bit of a collector. So all these guitars up here are actually my personal Schecters.
Yeah.
They're not for sale, but if you want a Schecter, let me know. Let's see. Oh, going back to the V's. A lot of people say that about the V sitting down. It's like, well, if you're playing side saddle, yeah, it's hard to play sitting down. If you're playing the classical guitar position,
Right.
or what I like to call the standing up position, because the way you hold a guitar, like a lot of people play the guitar on their right leg. I call it side saddle. But that's not how you play standing up. When you stand up, you bring the guitar kind of more in front of you into the classical guitar position is just what I think of as the standing guitar position. If you're playing like that, with the guitar more on your left leg and pointed up, I think V's are fine, but you do kind of have to sit that way. Like that's kind of the only option with a flying V is to play in the classical guitar position, so.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right, now the Synyster Gates Custom S guitar. I'm not sure what the S is. I know he has a new one that just came out that's like a headless thing, but I don't think that's been released yet. But so I'm assuming you just mean the regular Synyster Gates custom guitar. I have not played any of the Synyster Gates guitars. I have played an Avenger. Like we had an Avenger here in the shop, not Thor from the Avengers, but the Schecter Avenger guitar shape, which is the same shape as the Synyster Gates guitar. The only difference between it and the Syn Custom is the headstock. So the headstock is a little bit different on the Synyster Gates guitar than a lot of the regular Avenger shapes. Now, so if we're talking about that specific body shape, I actually liked it. It was kind of an odd looking thing. You know, you remember it's that green one we had for a while that I eventually thought, I guess I'm going to keep this because no one wants to buy it.
I know.
It's the more out there the shapes are, the less popular that they sell in general.
Right.
Right? Now, to the general buying public. Now, if you're a guy like me who you like explorer-shaped guitars, or maybe you love flying V guitars, or you like, you know, odd shapes like that. If you're that kind of person, that's all you look at. But in general, those are not the most popular selling shapes. The more out there the shape, the less units you'll probably sell.
Right.
But I like the Avenger. I was like, we had that one in the shop for a while. I was like, I really need to sell this, but I also really kind of like it.
Right.
But I just waited. The right guy came in. He's like, hey, I've been looking for one of those exactly. I'm like, let's do it. Let's go. And he bought it for what I was selling it for, and it was a win-win for both of us. So I do like the Avenger shape. The only thing is, like, I'm not the biggest Avenged Sevenfold fan.
Right.
Like, I like them, and I've taught some of their songs to our students, and I actually do kind of enjoy their music. But I don't know. I had some fans, Synyster Gate fans, who kind of just rubbed me the wrong way. They were all like, Synyster Gates is the best guitar player who ever lived. I'm like, really? The best who's ever lived? Yeah, he's the best. I'm like, have you seen Jeff Loomis? Who's Jeff Loomis? Let me show you a video right now. Watch this video of Jeff. You're saying Synyster sucks. I was like, that is not what I said. I said Synyster Gates is good. He's not as good as Jeff Loomis. You think Synyster's horrible. That is really not what I said. I said Synyster's great.
They get a little.
You get attached to your heroes. It's like if you say something negative about Van Halen
or James Hetfield.
Well, yeah, you can talk crap about Kirk Hammett all day long. That's fine. That doesn't piss people off. You can talk crap about Lars all day. People don't tend to talk crap about James though, because he's not a douchebag. And he's super awesome. Anyways, you insult, not even insult. Just
making a
critique,
general statement,
observation about somebody's idol. And that's how you know it's an idol.
Yeah.
If you get all twisted sideways if somebody says something about you or one of your idols, first of all, you shouldn't idolize anybody.
No.
Nobody is worthy of worship.
No.
No human.
None whatsoever.
But anyways, so it's like, and even though I kind of like them, I'm not obsessed with them. And I can appreciate.
It's just not on your radar.
Yeah, and my thing is, if I get an Avenger, it's so closely associated with Synyster Gates, even though that shape existed before him.
You'll look like a super fan.
Yeah, it's like, so you like Synyster Gates? I'm like, no, I just like the Avenger. Well, that's his guitar. I was like, well, it was a guitar before him.
Right.
You know, it's like getting a striped, Bumblebee guitar, like oh, you love Van Halen? I'm like, well, what gave it away? The stripes?
Right.
Editing Ryan here. I don't want it to sound like I don't like Avenged Sevenfold, because I actually really do. The first time I heard them was in Tulsa. We lived in Tulsa, and I was driving to work, and this was like 2006 maybe. And I heard Bat Country. I was like, what is this? This is freaking awesome. It sounds like Guns N' Roses and Metallica and Megadeth had a baby, basically, which kind of what happened. They took all the best things from Guns N' Roses, like the fake stage names and like the composition and the ability of Megadeth and Metallica, and like made a band. So they're actually really good, and I do like them. But it's one of those things, like I had one or two very vocal fans of the band who were just like, it was the fans of the band that kind of ruined a little bit of the band for me for a little while. But I did have one of my favorite students I've ever taught. She absolutely adores Avenged Sevenfold, and we played a couple of their songs because she loved them. And I actually really like them, and I can appreciate them. I just had to separate experiences I've had with some Avenged fans from the band itself. And a matter of fact, I actually got to see them in concert, and they were really freaking good in concert. Check it out.
Nice work, dude.
You've been high-fived by God. There's nothing left to do in life now.
Don't wash it. Don't wash it.
Never wash that hand, never again.
Never wash it again.
You are permanently banned from washing that hand.
So, I don't know. It's all good. That shape is great. I've never heard anything bad about the Synyster Gates guitars. The only problem sometimes you run into is the Sustainiac. If it comes with the Sustainiac pickup, the Sustainiac pickup itself tends to have some wonky issues. So that's the only, if there's a downside would be, if it has a Sustainiac, you might want to change that. If it has the other pickups, you're probably great. So thank you for the question, Metal God 100. Next question, Brian Keaton 2071. How did you lose the weight? A certain system. I am a 52-year-old second grade male teacher and a part-time children's pastor.
Nice.
6'1" and weigh 250 pounds. Been playing a lot of tennis, but not dropping the pounds. Great question, Brian. Well, concise. If you want a really incredibly long answer, I actually did a live stream literally last night, which was technically Thursday night. You're probably seeing this on Sunday, but this past Thursday night I did a live stream, and it's titled "How Going Carnivore for 60 Days Helped Me Play Guitar Better." So it's a pretty long video, but I go through my whole thing. But concisely,
yes.
If you're not losing the weight, it's because you're eating too much.
Right. Calories in.
It doesn't matter how much tennis you play or any of that stuff. It's what you're eating. The reason you're not dropping the weight is you're eating too many calories.
Yes.
But, so for me, in 2020, I lost 45, 50 pounds. Back in 2020, Nicholas, that was our son.
Yes.
Texting us. In 2020, I lost 45, 50 pounds, and I did it on what I call the Coach Greg diet.
Yeah.
Greg Doucette. If you type Greg Doucette or Coach Greg on YouTube, you'll find him.
Drink the Diet Coke! There's 0 calories. Have you ever had 1 ounce of a serving of chips? No. 0 times do you eat 1 ounce. You eat the bag. This one is called Skinny Syrups, and it's got a 0 calories in the serving size. It's got 0 carbs and 0, 0, 0, 0. 0. The chances of you not already eating enough protein in your diet is almost 0. It has about 2 calories per gram. It's like a carb, but it doesn't have 4 calories per gram. It just says less. It's 2, okay? It's not a 0.
He's a wee little manlet of a man. He says that. But he's like a bodybuilder. He's jacked.
You wouldn't tell that he is. He's just he's a muscle bound.
Yeah.
He's a muscle guy.
Yeah, he's a.
So that's what I would.
A literal.
You can never tell that he's a wee little man.
Yeah, but he always says it. He brings it up. He's like, I'm only 5'6". I'm a manlet. You know, because people will make fun of you. And he's like, you just make fun of yourself first. Anyways,
horrible. Anyways.
It is. It is horrible. Anyway, I found Coach Greg, and because he's a professional bodybuilder, so he knows how to lose weight. Those guys know how to lose weight. They know how to lose fat.
Yes, fast.
Fat, not just weight, because you want to keep your muscle and burn the fat.
Right.
So I started watching him, and he was like, all right, he calls it the circle diet. Bring it into the circle. Right? Now, it's not low carb or whatever. It's like, he's like, carbs are fine, but it is high protein. And his thing is, high volume meaning lots of stuff,
Right.
lots of food that is low calorie.
Right.
So your meals are all high volume in that they fill up your tum-tum if you're a big eater, but they're actually very low in calories, you know, based on what kind of ingredients you use. You know, like you can make a wrap, like with, you know, vegetables and chicken and turkey and whatever, but you know, you got to get a tortilla or a wrap that's like 45 calories, because some tortillas
Like 120.
are 180. Some are like 200, and you're like, I ate a wrap, it was healthy. Well, just the wrap was 200 calories.
It's more than slices of bread.
Right. So it's messing with the ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, well, I'm gonna do that. And so that, before I was really even walking or exercising, I just ate the way Coach Greg said to eat. And I was like, okay, I lost 50 pounds. So I got down, I was in the 260s. Usually if I don't really give a crap about what I'm doing, I usually kind of sit around 260, 270, upper 260s, low 270s, and I'm 6'2". And done all the diets that are out there probably at some point in the last 27 years. But this one actually worked, and I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything. It was actually really great. I enjoyed it. So I lost like 50 pounds in probably 6 months. And then I kept it off
Yeah.
for like about 2 years.
Yeah. About a year and a half, a year and 8 months or something.
Which
like
that was really the shocking thing, was because I've lost weight before, not as much. You know, I got, like I said, I went from like 270 down to 225. And then I stayed at 225 for like 2 years, which was like,
Yeah.
I've been able to lose it before, but I've never able to sustain it, right? Forever.
Right.
And then sometime in late 22, I started cheating on Coach Greg.
Right.
And I started having some snacky snacks and things, and I gained about 15 pounds. So I went from 225 back up to 239, 240, 241. And I thought, this is not good. I need to do something different. I'm just gonna go back to Coach Greg and just be strict with it. And I would start like half the day where I'd be Coach Greg diet, and then the last half of the day I would cheat. And that's why I was having problems. So back, it was May 25th.
Yeah.
I think May 25th,
End
we
of
started
May.
the Carnivore Diet. So I'm gonna do the Carnivore Diet. I've been hearing a lot about it, watched a lot of videos, got friends who did it. So I did Carnivore Diet. I'm gonna try it for 30 days and see what happens. I was just gonna do it as a hard reboot, like unplug, plug back in.
Yeah.
Hard reboot, 30 days of carnivore, and then I'll go back to Coach Greg, and then I'll just stay strict Coach Greg. And so, yeah, in 26 days, I lost 15 pounds, or almost 20 pounds. So I went, whew. I've been trying to get back to 225
Like forever.
for like 6 or 7 or 8 months, and I just couldn't. I was doing it wrong. I was eating stuff I shouldn't be eating. As soon as I did the carnivore, it took about 25 days, 26 days, and boom, I was back to 225 again. I was like, holy crap. I've been trying to get back to 225
Forever.
for 8 months, 10 months. And so we did that, carnivore. And then we did it for 30 days. Actually, we're on day like 62 now. We're on like day 62 of carnivore. So
Yep.
it's been really good. I watched about 100 hours of videos from doctors. There's 3 or 4 or 5 different doctors, medical doctors, heart doctors, brain surgeons,
Lots of people.
who talk about
He's a
the carnivore.
researcher, so
Yeah.
he dove deep into it, and then he'd send me videos, and I'm like, okay, no, that makes sense, because I knew there was something in my diet that was missing. So it was like, I think it might be this, it might be this, and I started eliminating all these things. I'm like, it's not helping. And you know, with your hormone change, as you're getting older, and your body's not processing food like it used to, you know, especially when it comes to hormone change. And so I was like, what is it? And then he brought this up, and it was just like, I think I should do that too. So about the same amount of time, we both lost 20 pounds in less than a month. And it was just like, what? Okay. And we felt good. We felt stronger. We felt more alert.
More awake.
Yes.
No crashes in the middle of the day.
Right. We weren't hungry, eating just a bunch of crap in the day. We would just get a couple, like literally like 2 or 3 slices of cheese and a couple slices of sausage. And it would be like, okay, that topped me off. I'm good. I'm good. We drank lots of water. We started taking pinches of Celtic salt in the morning to keep our electrolytes up. Just little things like that. And it's been like night and day.
Yeah.
And we both mentioned this, like we have all both been at this weight before, with this loss before, but this time around, it just feels different. We're actually thinner at this weight than we were because I believe there's less inflammation
Yeah.
because of the certain foods we were still eating and still having in our diet was causing this underlying inflammation that kept us at a certain bloat that we weren't really noticing. We saw the numbers and that's all that mattered, but we
Right.
didn't realize how unhealthy still that number was, even though we were down in a number. So this has helped a lot.
Inflammation reduction is a big part of it.
And that was the biggest part of our month of losing weight, was the amount of like bloating and just gross weight that we lost in the first month. And so, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's been, I have lost less weight in the second 30 days. So I had 30 days, kind of lost the majority of the weight. In the next 30 days, the weight loss slowed for me, but I also started working out more.
Yeah.
You know, doing push-ups, going up and down the bleachers after my walks and stuff.
Yeah.
So I did see a doctor talk about that. He says, sometimes you just have a pretty steady weight loss for months and months in a row. Some people do. Depends on how much weight you have to lose. I said some people, which was him, lost 20, 30 pounds the first month. And then the next month, he didn't really lose any weight, but his body composition started changing. He was losing fat, but he was also building muscle at the same time in the second month. So the scale number didn't change, but his dimensions and clothing and everything changed. I think that's what's happening to me in this next 30 days.
Both of us.
For sure.
Both of us.
And now, I think I only lost 3 pounds in the second month, but the way my clothes fit is definitely
I lost
changing.
about 5 in the second month. So far, I've lost about 5. And today we bought brand new pants. Both of us
had to
bought
go
brand
buy
new
clothes.
pants today. And the size that I tried on today, I didn't get into last time I lost a significant amount of weight until like 10 pounds less than what I was last time. So
You should be 10 pounds lighter to fit in the pants you bought today.
Right.
But you're not.
but I'm not. So
But you're not inflamed.
But yes, exactly. I can tell it in my hands and in my feet and in my, my wrists, my ankles, my knees. The recovery time of doing extra workout is just quicker. Not as sore. We're still sore, but not
Right.
like it would have been, the last time, because the inflammation isn't there. It literally is just the tearing down a muscle and bringing it back. That's all that we're feeling right now. So it's really awesome.
Yeah, it's been really good. I got veins. I was in the bathroom the other day. I was doing something.
Look. And I never have veins. After I had my kids, my hands have always been flat on the back of my hands, and now I actually just sitting here. I have
veins.
I know.
I was
right.
I don't know.
It's
Where,
crazy.
I might have been in the living room. I was somewhere, and I was sitting on the couch or something. And I just happened to look at my hands. I was like, "Dang, dude!" And I was like, "Am I? That's a lot of vein action going on." I was like, "I'm not used to seeing veins in my arms and hands and stuff." Like,
right.
Crap. Is that
That's pretty
normal?
cool.
I'm like, it probably should be.
Yes, I think it should
Probably
be,
should be.
because your blood's pumping.
Yeah.
So
You can just do what we did. I was like, we took it as a 30-day challenge. I'm going to do it for 30 days. I'm going to, adhere to it. And at the end of 30 days, you can look back and go, am I better
Was it
off
beneficial?
or worse? Is
Yeah.
my blood sugar better? Is my blood pressure better? Or am I worse?
Right.
The answer is you're going to be better.
Right.
I mean,
Definitely.
if you actually do it. But give yourself a deadline of 30 days.
Yeah.
So you know that there's a finish line. And when you get there, you'll be like, well, if it didn't work, I'll just go what I was doing while I was doing.
Right.
Which wasn't working for you.
Right. Or just modify just a little bit and tweak it just a little bit. Maybe you should go just keto. But
Some people are ketovore, which is a little bit more keto than keto, but
give
not
yourself
quite
a little
full
bit more
carnivore.
grams of carbs than you would just going full blown keto.
Yeah.
Carnivore. But the biggest thing at the end of all this, it is literally calories in, calories out.
Well, yeah.
Because if you're a strong person and you're physically active, then it's like our sons. They're so muscular and such big guys, but they eat like linebackers. They eat like there's no tomorrow.
They eat like there's not going to be any food tomorrow.
Yes, and so there's like, why am I not losing weight? Well, it's like because you eat probably 20,000 calories a day.
I know you can do 500 push-ups and curl like 50-pound dumbbells.
Right. They're so strong. They're so strong with. So it's basically that. Just you might need to cut out some things that are causing inflammation and causing,
Yeah, and again,
Just
like you said something like you played a lot of tennis, but you're not dropping the pounds. I got a buddy who's doing the same thing. My friend Greg, he's like, I played tennis for an hour, I burned 1,000 calories. I'm like, yeah, but what did you eat yesterday, Greg? Well, it was a stressful day. I'm like, well, you know.
And we all have them.
So I lost all that weight initially. The first 50 pounds I lost, I was not exercising at all.
Right.
It was literally just the food.
Diet.
It was literally just the food.
And that's where most Americans are. It's mostly diet for most Americans.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, think about it just like guys working in construction. They're not all skinny. A lot of them have beer bellies. A lot of them are big, old, hefty guys, but they're in construction. They're hauling. They're picking things up. They're doing all this stuff all day long and burning tons of calories. But then they'll all stop and they'll have a Big Mac and they'll have the French fries and they'll have a shake and then they'll have a regular soda instead of a diet soda. And then they come home and they'll eat more, or they'll eat on the way home, or they're eating their truck, or they'll eat breakfast and they'll eat donuts and they'll eat all these calories, and the dispense is not overlapping. So they're eating more than they're burning.
Yeah.
And it's
you
never
cannot
catch.
outwork or out sweat or out tennis or out construction of an over consumption of calories.
You just
and that's
can't.
what it is. So if carnivore helps you reduce your calories, great. If Coach Greg diet helps you lose weight, great. That one, I think carnivore was really easy for me because I had been doing the Greg diet, Coach Greg, where it was high protein. You could have carbs, but high protein, high volume, low calorie.
Right.
So I think the switch to this
Smart
was actually
carb.
easy for me. Like if I'd come from just my normal crap diet from like say 10 years ago, it might have been tricky, but either one works. Yeah. Just try it. Give yourself 30 days. You're worth trying something to see if you can get better. It's worked for us. So. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it. Next question. Just Fun Guitar. What a follow-up. Says, hashtag 100 days. Great episode. New question. Red wine or white wine? Question mark. He's like, I went to Cracker Barrel in Georgia. It was tasty. Oh, I bet Georgia Cracker Barrel was good.
I bet it was.
All right, Angela. Red wine or white wine? Not on carnivore.
Yeah, no, and honestly,
neither.
I never really have it that often. So, but if I do, it's white and it's sweet. I'm a child. When it comes to, I'm not a dry wine person. I'm not that sophisticated. I don't like to taste. I don't like the taste of what it feels like burnt rubber would taste like. I don't like it at all. I just think it's disgusting. Why? I want to enjoy what I'm drinking, so I want to just taste as close to Sprite as possible.
Sprite wine.
So I am a fruity, tutti, fresh and fruity, like all day long kind of girl. So mostly whites are like that.
White
so
Zinfandel.
yes, sparkly, white, fruity, sweet, high sweet. Basically Kool-Aid. Alcoholic Kool-Aid. Yes. Yeah. I haven't had no, I'm not a dry wine person, but even then it's like maybe 2 or 3 times a year. If that.
Yeah. I mean, not just, you hardly ever have one.
Yeah, I still have this little mini travel bottle of wine in the fridge that I've had there since last year.
Yeah, it's been there a while.
It's been there
I was looking at the fridge and like, I guess she's not going to drink that.
No, I'm not. But I don't like wasting anything. So it's like, maybe one day I'll just splurge and that's all I'll have.
You have one carnivore cheat day where you have some wine.
Yeah. One little bitty bottle of wine that's like 300 calories for that one thing.
For me, it's neither.
Yeah.
I don't like wine at all. I don't like beer.
Yeah.
Like I don't really like any alcohol.
So even if it was a beer, it'd have to be something like sweet, like a Red's apple ale, or like it'd have to be something like
somebody had, maybe it was my dad. I don't know, but it was like a root beer flavored beer.
Yes.
It was like a root beer. I was like, I might try that. I was like, nah, it was okay.
Why not just?
But I'd rather have an A&W. I'd rather have a Barks.
Right.
It's like, that's kind of not a great root beer, but. So I'm not really a drinker. I never have been.
Yeah.
You're really not either.
I'll have a margarita literally once a year, maybe, if we go out somewhere. And then it's even like, I don't really feel like drinking in front of people. It's weird. I always feel weird.
We have a lot of alcoholics in our families.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like,
it's kind of like, do I want to go down that road?
I know I have a lot of relatives who are addicted to meth, but I could probably have a little bit of meth.
I mean, just
it'd probably be fine, and like it probably won't happen to me,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we're real careful about that, but that's if I do, ever. It'll
If.
be white and it'll be very sweet. People won't even consider it wine. It's basically Kool-Aid with
Sprite.
alcohol in it.
It's Kool-Aid.
There you go.
There you go. Thank you, Just Fun Guitar. Hey, you guys, down below, tell us, do you like red wine or white wine? Or no wine?
A lot
Tell
more
us
people are non-drinkers, I think, than there
Probably.
are drinkers.
I think, maybe. I don't know. And now it's time for comment of the day. Comment of the day time. So we're going to write a song right now on the spot using a comment from last week's video. You guys write the lyrics, we write the music, and she writes the vocal melody and the vocal rhythm.
Oh, Lord.
And we write a song right here on the spot. Ooh. And we never pre-plan this. I'm playing a G, so this is going to be a G. But you like G, here we go.
Okay. Repeat. At home costs 30, 50. Oh, Angela, you look so south. Right? That I'm imagining you have just returned from worship. Get the beat wrong. And are about to feed somebody to the pigs. Yeah, I would. Just bless them.
So, Angela, you look so south. I'm imagining you have just returned from worship and are about to feed somebody to the pigs. You look so southern. You would maybe feed a person to pigs.
Well, I had overalls on in the last video.
Oh, yeah, you did. Oh, that's what it was. You had your overalls.
So,
Very nice.
which they were classy overalls.
They were
We didn't see the bottoms of them.
They weren't
flared.
Carhartts.
They weren't. They were flared. It looked like almost like a dress at the bottom.
This is like
So
like lady overalls.
it just the look I was going
Not
for
grandpa
today.
overalls. You still have your grandpa's overalls, don't you?
I gave them back to Dad.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Can he wear them?
Yes, he wears them all the time.
I didn't know. Wasn't his dad kind of a short guy
Yes, but it doesn't matter.
with overalls?
They were his daddy's.
There you go.
Yeah.
And he loved his dad.
Yes, he's a good man.
All right. I have actually fed a person to pigs before.
Mm,
I have done this.
yeah. On.
Red Dead Redemption
There you
2
go. Let's
in a
make
video
it clear
game.
before we get
In a
started.
video game. If you ever played Red Dead 2, you have the option to
Do that.
do that to a very bad person who deserves to be eaten.
They
by
did that on
pigs.
Vikings.
Did they?
Mhm.
I haven't. You would think I've watched all the seasons of Vikings. I
I
have
liked episode 1.
not. I saw that.
When the guy bucked the whole thing and he had to fight for his life. And
It's been a long time.
he lost his life and they were like, feed him to the pigs.
Oh.
And I was like, yep.
It's been a long
Darn
time.
Skippy.
I should maybe go watch that. But I
It's on Prime.
should.
Yeah.
There are like 500 seasons now.
I know.
I'll have to go back to season 1 and start over, I think.
Yeah. That's why I tell people all the time. Like those British guys who were coming, that Josh and his friend, whatever, from England, and they came and they're in Arizona. I don't know. They might be back home by now. But they were in Arizona and they were leaving a restaurant or something, and there were these wild hogs underneath a street light. And he was like, oh my gosh, look at this. And he was like, here, baby, here, baby. He reached his hand out to pet them. And I was like, dude.
If you saw a pack of alligators,
If you saw, and there was like 5 of them and a couple of babies. I was like, if you saw 5, more than likely 1,000 were very close by. Why would you do that? They will trample you and then eat you and you'd be gone. No one, they eat bone. They leave nothing. They'll eat clothes. They'll eat bone. They eat everything. Nothing's left. Literally. Zero. Pigs don't care.
yeah.
And that's all range of pigs. That's like literally all pigs. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're wild or domesticated. It's like literally, my grandpa raised pigs and he had a big old sow. I mean, she was like bigger than this couch. She was huge. She was just huge, big old sow. And we would want to go over there, and I had this dumb idea in my head that I wanted to do what Dorothy Gale did in The Wizard of Oz. Of course, she fell over into the sow pit in the Wizard of Oz. And I wanted to climb up and walk along this thing singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And my grandfather yanked me back. He was like, don't you dare. I said, 1. He said, 1, she will crush you because she's like 1,000 pounds.
1,000
He
pound
goes,
hog.
and then she will eat you like that. And I never forgot that for the rest of my life. It scared the Hades out of me. Like
the jeebers.
And ever since, I mean, she looked so cute, so fat, and she had these big jowls that would hang down like that.
But she would eat you.
But she would.
Because that's what hogs do. All right, so there you go. Now, final question. Fat Philosopher 1047, hashtag 100 days, 101 days. What guitar brand do you like selling the best? And what brand gives you the best margins? Ooh.
That's good.
Those are some good questions, man. All right, see, what brand do I like selling the best? Huh. I had to think about that for a minute. I thought I had an answer. I thought I was going to say Schecter. Schecter. I love Schecter. Wow.
Yeah.
I do like Schecter a lot, but I was trying to think, what have I sold the most of?
Probably CMGs.
Yeah, I was thought about it for a sec. Probably CMG is probably the one I like selling the most.
I would say that.
I would say that because I'm friends with Chris Mitchell, and you know, I like that they're a small. They're not. I mean, Schecter's a big company. People think, well, the Schecter's not very big. I was like, well, it's still pretty big. I mean, they got 30, 40 employees in the USA, and they sell a lot of guitars. You know, so they're. I mean, they're not Fender or Gibson, but
People
they're
around the world know who they are.
They're pretty. You know, freaking Synyster Gates plays a Schecter. Right? It's a pretty big deal. So Chris is CMG is a pretty small in comparison to that, and I mean, they only build 100, 150 guitars a year, or something like that. But I like it. It's a very small crew. I know all the guys there. It's just Lane and Chris and James, who does the most of the actual hands-on building of the guitars. So, and I like what they do, and I like their ethos, and I like the point of it all is to build a guitar that, you know, a kid in America could mow yards all summer long and buy an American-made guitar.
Right.
A brand new American-made guitar. You could mow yards are somewhere by a used Fender, maybe.
Right.
But so that's their ethos, is that. So I think I really like them the most. It's a little tricky because a lot of times, like I think at this point of the year, they're 6 to 9 months out right now. If I ordered one from them right now, it'd be 6 to 9 months before it got here. And we have done a lot of custom orders from them. So I probably, yeah, that's, you know.
I would say that too.
I was going to say Schecter first because I'm like, I freaking love Schecter, but I don't necessarily sell a whole lot of Schecters.
Right.
Because people just go to AMS, or they go to Sweetwater, or they go to Guitar Center, or they go to any of the major big online things. You can buy direct from Schecter. So I love that brand, and I obviously like their guitars because I play a lot of Schecters. But probably CMG guitars.
Yeah.
There's some CMG news.
Oh,
Chris
goodness.
called me the other day. I don't think I can break the news yet.
Oh, then don't.
So I'm not going to.
But
I'll text you. There is some exciting CMG news though that I'll call Chris today and ask him what I can tell you. Because he called me. He's like, hey, we're doing this thing. I'm going to make a video and I'm going to announce it. But if you would like to announce it too, but let me do this thing first. He has a guitar that he built. It's got pictures and anyways. And I was I was like, yeah, man. I'm happy to because I appreciate him. You know. You know. So there is some CMG news coming. Pretty soon. But probably I would say them. As far as the best margins, that's a little tough because it's basically the same. Most, in generalizing, most guitar brands that you sell, it's roughly 30% profit margins. Roughly. 30 to 40, but most of the time you're not ever really getting 40. And so pretty much all companies have it set up the same. So there's not any that are really better than others as far as the profit margins go. It kind of comes down to more, what about the after support? You know, if you sell a guitar, if you order a guitar and it comes in and there's an issue, which company's going to take care of it?
Right.
How are the relationships? How do they treat you on the phone and in emails? And so it has a lot more to do with that than it does the margins. So, the best margins are on used gear. So the brand that gives me the best margins is used guitars. So if I buy a used guitar and I turn around and sell it, I'll make more margin on that. But used guitar pedal, any of that stuff. So used gear makes the best margins for sure. Or if I find something like we got all these Fenders, oh, they're over there, but I got all these Fender guitars that another store was blowing out at crazy prices. Below dealer cost, this other place was selling these Fenders. Brand new Fenders, below actual Fender dealer cost. I was like, I'm gonna buy those. And I'm gonna sell them as brand new because they are brand new. And that was really good. And every now and then I'll come across a deal from like another store that went out of business or some of these big online whoever's. They're just liquidating crap because they just need to move it and get new stuff in, and they don't care if they lose money on it or not. Right. Because they make money.
Oops, sorry.
So that's, every now and then I come across some really special things, and I've learned over the years, like, if that pops up, I can get it at this price that's below dealer costs. And because a lot of times those big stores, they're getting stuff cheaper than the mom and pop stores are because they're buying such huge volume. They spend $500,000 a year with this company. They're getting a better margin than your mid-level stores are. Right. So don't get it confused. Sweetwater's not buying guitars and accessories and cables and stuff for the same price that Flipside Music or ASKRNA Music or your favorite mom and pop shop is not getting the same deal on gear as the big stores. So, anyways, there you go. Thank you for the question, Fat Philosopher. Good Lord. He got on the live stream last night. We chatted a little bit. So awesome. All right. Thank you guys so much for those questions. Really appreciate it. Please ask a question down below in the comments section of this video for next week's episode 388 of AskRNA. And we'll be happy to answer those questions next week. If you watch this entire video all the way through, please just turn it on, let it run. You can walk out of the room. Just let us play to your empty room.
Yeah. Put it on your iPad.
Put it on your iPad and just let it go. Yeah. So it helps the algorithm. It's view time and comments and interactions. The best thing you can do to support our channel is let the videos run and comment. I mean, comment like a bazillion comments. Hey, Ryan. Hey, Angela. Hey. I like that. If you want to leave a comment as each question comes by, do that. The more comments, the more engagement, the more that YouTube's like, oh, people like this. So comment away. But if you did watch this whole thing from beginning to end, secret hashtag of the day, little game we like to play with the cool people, which is y'all. Secret hashtag of the day is hashtag.
Whoa. I don't know.
And I was gonna say Big Sal, Big Mama Sal or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Hashtag Big Mama Sal. Angela almost fell into a pen with a giant piglet.
Never forget it.
Yeah, but your grandpa saved you.
Yeah. Many times he has saved me.
How long was it before he slaughtered that pig and y'all ate it?
Oh gosh, I think maybe 3 or 4 years later. 3 or 4 years later.
And y'all ate. They ate real good, I bet, for a couple of days.
Well, I think he sold a lot of it, but
probably that's what you do. All right, hashtag Big Mama Sal. That's an Alabama thing, and we'll know that you watched this whole video. We should have done hashtag Carnivore.
That too.
What a hashtag Carnivore. That's your bonus one if you watch the whole thing, and we'll know that you're a legend, and you'll know you're a legend, and everybody else will know you're a legend. And some people will be like, "Why are these hashtags? What's this?
Why is it so random?
That doesn't make any sense." All right, thank you guys so much for all that. I hope you enjoyed last week's video. We had some bloopers. Probably won't have bloopers this time, but we'll see what happens. All right, until the next video, keep the music alive.
Don't forget it.
The music needs you.
And you need the music.
And you need to keep it alive for the next generation.
That's right.
Nailed it. First try.
I know.
First try. Hashtag first try.
And I remembered.
You remember last time. I was like.
It just went by so fast. It's like muscle memory. And then it's like, did we do it?
And you're like, did we say the things?
Because as soon as you say it, it just triggers. And it's like, triggered until I forget.
Yeah, I know.
Like last time.
Because I
remembered and I forgot it.
You made me second guess. Because I was like, no, we did it. You're like, I don't think, all right, let's do it again. And then we couldn't do it again. And then I'm back in the editing and I'm like, see, we did it. First try barely even had a problem. Then we started second guessing ourselves.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys so much. See you next time.
Bye. Bye.
That's a low couch.
It really is. My knees are like right there.
So low.
Here are my knees.
So low.